Amsterdam is the capital of the Netherlands. It's a city built on swampy marshland reclaimed from the North Sea. Although it has a population of less than 1 million, it is also one of Europe's major cultural centres.
So this is Amsterdam, bicycle capital of the universe. Check out the bikes. This city's got like 720,000 people, but every year they get something like 3 million tourists, so I think accommodation's going to be hard to find. Could get a tram, but I'm tired. I'm going to get a taxi, I think. You free?
Breng to mijn de Hemp Hotel.
Sorry, wat zegt u?
Breng to mijn de Hemp Hotel.
Can you speak English?
Oh, you speak English?
Yes, everybody in Amsterdam speaks English.
Well, I don't know why I wasted $5 on that. Yeah, Hemp Hotel, please.
Amsterdam is a jigsaw puzzle, assembled from 90 islands and 170 canals. Much of the city lies around 2 metres below sea level and couldn't exist without the protection provided by a complex system of dikes and dams.
That's the place.
This converted townhouse is the Hemp Hotel. Hemp is the plant from which marijuana is extracted, but this place celebrates all its other forms. Some traditional ones, like weaving it into fibrous matting, others more unusual, like bizarre hemp cocktails and home furnishings.
It's all right, actually. $50 a night, and believe it or not, that's cheap for Amsterdam.
Ow! Oh, even the bed's made of hemp. I thought hemp was supposed to be a soft drug. Hard as a rock. So do any of these products have, like, marijuana in them?
No, not really. They have the taste of hemp, but they won't turn you on.
Well, it's not undrinkable.
Yeah, well, here in the Hemp Hotel we want to show actually that you can do all your living with hemp, and you can sleep in it, wash yourself with it, eat it, drink it.
But that's different stuff from cannabis, isn't it? You don't get stoned on it. You could smoke a pound and just get lung cancer.
Yeah. That's actually just such a small part of what all the plant can do, but it's the only one that most people know, especially here in Amsterdam.
Excuse me, do you know which tram I can take into the centre of town?
Are you going to the gay parade?
The what?
The gay parade.
Is there a gay parade?
Yeah, because of the gay Olympics.
Cool, where's that?
You can take the 1, the 2, or the 5. They leave over here.
Okay, excellent, thanks.
Okay, have fun.
Cheers.
Amsterdam is a compact city, and you can see a lot of it on foot, but for longer distances, it's worth using the efficient tram system.
Actually quite a pleasant way to get around town, the trams. I didn't even buy a ticket, but apparently you're supposed to buy these weekly passes and get them clipped or something, but...
How's this for timing? First day in Amsterdam, and I've walked into Europe's biggest party. Because today is the gay parade. It's an annual event, but this year it coincides with the gay games. 300,000 people are here to party. Well, 300,001 now. What would you expect in Europe's gay capital? Looks like we're going to go down. We'll have to stop meeting this way. So do you you come down here often?
Amsterdam's legendary tolerance makes it one of Europe's most popular destinations for gay and lesbian travellers. There are more than 60 gay bars, clubs and hotels in the city, although for lesbians the choice is much more limited. Every summer the city celebrates its gay pride with a floating parade, which in true Amsterdam style carries on late into the night.
Probably the best way to get around Amsterdam is bicycle. And there's almost as many bicycles as people in this town. 500,000 of these pretty crummy bicycles. And apparently another 500,000 in the bottom of the canals. Now have a look at this. These guys are full-time employees of the city and their job is solely to dredge out bicycles from the bottom of the canals. So if you want a cheap bike, learn to swim. Drive on the right side of the road, there's a little handy hint. The city's like a maze, labyrinths of narrow streets. And apparently before Napoleon came, there weren't even any numbers on the buildings. They just had little plaques, little pictures that identified them. Well, fancy that, another canal. One of the standard jokes is when a tourist asks directions, people say, oh, just go to the end of the canal. Because they're all interconnected. There's no end. Where are we? Herengracht. Keizersgracht. Gracht means canal. Keizers, I guess that's king. That's another one-way street, but I'm only going one way. One gear and it's the hard one. Now, I've heard there's some agreement between the city's junkie population and the municipality. And that is that they won't rob your grandmother and liquor stores if you don't complain too much about them stealing your bike. Woo! Watch those tram tracks, you get your wheels stuck in them and it's out of control. Dodging the trams, half the fun of Amsterdam. But you gotta watch out for the trams when you're riding a bike around here because they don't stop for anyone. Well, I'm on the Herengracht. It's one of the most famous canals in Amsterdam from the 17th century. And as you can see, these buildings are sinking into the sand. Have a look at this one. There's a lot of houses like this in Amsterdam. But the whole town was built on sand. It's reclaimed land, and half of it's sinking.
Much of what we think of as Amsterdam is the product of the golden age of Dutch classicism, the 17th century. It's the quality of the city's residential architecture which distinguishes it. There are no grand monuments and only a few buildings that impress with size.
That must be the place. This is one of the narrowest houses in Amsterdam. It actually might be the narrowest. The owner said he's going to show me inside.
So, kitchen is up here. Shall I make you a cup of coffee?
Yeah, I'd love one, thanks.
Okay, I'll just have it ready.
This is just tiny.
Yeah, sure.
Just about touch both walls at once.
It's about 2 meters wide.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like 7 feet.
Yeah.
So why is it so narrow?
Most probably it was built in an alleyway.
Ah.
This used to be an alleyway, and they just hang the floors between the walls of the houses next to it, and put the front and a roof on top, and it was a house. There's a story about this house because it's connected with the big house on opposite here, which was owned by two brothers in the 17th century. The story goes that one of the Tripp brothers heard a poor man say that he dreamt about a house as big, as wide as their front door. He said, well, I'll build you a house like that, as wide as my front door, and that's this house.
I noticed that everyone keeps it in style, though, in the original style.
Yeah, well, that's regulations about that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to change it now.
It's like a living museum, isn't it? The
Yeah.
whole, that rat maze of the centre is like...
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. And you make good coffee in this place, I'll say that about Amsterdam. Oh, no. Fan-bloody-tastic. You locked it, too. Jeez. God.
Bike theft is a major problem in Amsterdam, so you really have to lock up your bike properly.
Well, apparently that's the story, right? There's 500,000 bikes in the city, and 1 million get stolen every year. Now, you work it out. That's an average of every bike stolen twice a year. I don't think the police are going to do much about it. Have to claim on travel insurance, I suppose. God. So what's with that guy? I didn't think anyone ever got arrested in Amsterdam.
We ran into the Amsterdam Historical Museum just for 30 seconds to check on the price. Neither of us locked the bikes. Came back out, and the one bike is missing.
You know, he left to look for the other bike, and so I sat like about a half a block away, just sitting on the thing, and waiting for anybody who looked like they would be somebody who stole a bike. I don't know what that would be, but it was just
Scruffy.
Scruffy, and he was. He was very scruffy. And so he walked up, he pulled a key out, and he started to unlock my bike. So I just ran up to the to the bike, and he was in a corner. So I just like ran up, and I just stopped him, and he just got really scared and was like this. And I said, "You stole my bike." He goes, "No, I didn't. Somebody gave me the key."
Oh no!
And so I went and I got these 2 police officers, and they said, "Don't believe the story. We know this guy. It's $700. They charge you $700 if it's stolen. If you don't have insurance."
For a bike worth about $10.
They get like 25 guilders for it.
There are more than 60 miles of canals flowing in, out and around Amsterdam. It's also a very green city with more trees per square mile than any other capital in Europe. It is said that many residents never use the canals and miss out on the unique perspective of the city that they offer.
This has got to be the most relaxing way of getting around Amsterdam. It's good exercise too. This is a very dangerous intersection. I quite like my bicycle. Thank you, Captain Bligh. Oh, the reverse doesn't work too well in this thing. They're mad. They're worse than taxis. Well, I've been rescued, and this is the way to travel, I gotta say. Find some millionaires with some good Spanish wine and just cruise with them, because this paddling stuff, mate, forget it. What's the altitude in Amsterdam?
-5 meters.
So how come the sea doesn't just kind of come in and swamp us?
Because we all build dikes.
This is that old story about Peter with the finger in the dike.
That's
yeah?
Hansi Brinker, who stuck his finger in the dike.
Yeah.
And he saved the whole country. If there wouldn't have been dikes, then the whole city would be all flooded.
But like,
you know, the whole city has been built on poles into the sand.
wow.
But now the constructions are getting weaker, so we have to support the buildings.
Yeah.
And that's tremendous effort and a lot of money, but it's worthwhile because look at it, it's so beautiful.
Oh,
They're all more than 300 years old, those buildings.
Yeah, it's the days of the Dutch East Indies when you people
the
colonized
the golden age,
Indonesia and killed everyone and took all their resources.
Yeah, the
good old
age.
days.
Yeah, the good old days. Yeah. Watch your head. Watch your head. about 5,000 people are living on canals, either in boats like you see here.
And they've got kitchens, they've got bedrooms, and they have bathrooms, I presume?
Yeah.
So where does all the stuff go from the bathrooms?
Well, most of the stuff is going into the canals, but the canals are being cleaned every night.
You mean they flush the canals?
They do.
So what about these big boats? Can you buy one of these? Is it cheaper than a house?
It's not cheaper than a house, no more. But people want it so much because you're living actually onto the water and always in the center of the city. It's become a sort of trendy thing. So now it's even more expensive to live on a houseboat than to live in a house.
So they're just like floating flats?
Yeah.
Cafes are actually on the canals, aren't they?
Well, there's a lot of cafes who have a mooring, and you can put your boat there and just climb onto the shore and get your beers.
Thanks for the lift.
Hey.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks for the lift.
Bye-bye.
Watch it. Thanks for the lift. How's this for a pad?
I got my own houseboat. Yeah, it's a little more expensive than a hotel, but it's such an Amsterdam thing to do. Here am I, right on the canal, and I can watch the world go by.
When they coined the term cafe society, I think they had Amsterdam in mind. 2,000 bridges, 170 canals, full of romantic little spots where you can just chill out.
You know, there's quite a few backpacker-type accommodation places in Amsterdam, but there's one which is synonymous with the whole trip, and that's Bob's Youth Hostel.
Bob's is like nirvana for like wayward travelers. And I want you to know the war on drugs makes criminal out of totally harmless Americans. So learn from the Dutch, Uncle Sam. Talking to you, Bill.
We did buy a bus pass the first time, like a metro pass when we first got here, and it's ridiculous. We haven't used it yet, and I don't think we're gonna get a chance to because everything's so right there for you.
It's one of those places that you just come to and nobody really cares what anybody else is doing. You can just be yourself and just kick back. It's where I'm coming for my whole vacation because I love it here.
It's a great place. Yeah, cool. Lots of hot chicks, I'll tell you that.
We pay 24 guilders. And we have also breakfast, warm shower, cheats.
Party on, man. Toke it, smoke it, and don't joke with it. Monkey Man's here to stay. Amsterdam!
This is incredible. Did you rent this?
No, I made it. It's one of my artworks. I'm a sculptor. I make urban UFOs.
You want to
no,
try?
Not at all.
Can I?
You want to try? Sure.
You want to take a break? Yeah?
Yeah, come on board.
Oh, God. It's not going to fall over, is it?
No, it's quite safe. It's quite stable. It's a way for people to stay in shape while they're staying in touch. Well, it's the thinking man's Porsche.
I think the moving man's bridge party. Well, we're on the tram track now, yeah?
And yet...
Is that legal for us?
Technically, it is illegal.
Yeah.
But these things are now what's called gedoopt in Dutch, which means that it's not really allowed, but we're not going to disallow it either because it's not really hurting anybody. And gee, look, maybe it's making a lot of people feel good.
So how fast does it go?
It's not about going faster, it's about going slower and enjoying the experience.
A red light. Never thought I'd say thank God for a red light.
It's fun to watch the people's faces light up. Then there are some that smile sort of reluctantly. I've never seen that before. That's not in the book. There must be something wrong with that. My dream is to have the G8 leaders on board. Blair and Clinton and Chirac and...
round table discussion.
They will have to get along. They will have to cooperate. They'll have to hammer out their differences or they're not allowed to get off, you see.
There's a lot of good things in Amsterdam. Unfortunately, service is not one of them. I've been sitting here for 25 minutes waiting just to order a cup of coffee. $16.79. Well, if they've been in business that long, they must be giving good service. I might just check it out. How are you, mate?
Hello.
Yeah, nice little pub you got going here.
Yeah, this is the tasting tavern of a distillery. You can have a Geneva or a liqueur or a fruit Geneva. For example, this half and half. It's an orange liqueur with a bitter. And the thing is, if you're here, you have to zip first.
So sip it first.
Yeah. And take your time for it.
Whoa.
It's strong.
That is strong.
38%.
Wow.
And now you can pick it up by hand.
With my hand?
Yes, indeed.
That's not so hard.
That's not that difficult.
Maybe. Oh, it's quite strong.
It's a tradition of 300 years, so you should be very careful with the tradition. The bride's tears is interesting of this. And you, well, before marrying, you should.
What's
drink
that stuff inside?
Oh, it's golden leaves and silver leaves.
Real gold?
Real gold. And the drink is even better. Here you are.
Oh, wow. Now go do that sip thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is the... oh.
Is that yours? Wow.
Hi.
Thomas.
Jonathan.
How are you, mate?
Welcome.
So this is it?
Yeah, this is it.
The Bat Cave.
Mm-hmm.
What's this room?
This is the lift.
The lift? It's huge.
We used to have parties in here, and a bar.
A bar and a lift?
Yeah. It's fun.
So what do you do with all the space?
Yeah, we do lots of things like art galleries, studios, workspaces, rave parties, skate park.
A skate park in a warehouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, it's here.
So who started the place?
We were a group of artists who needed space to work, and we decided to squat old buildings. So this is the 5th floor.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is our most beautiful space.
Great.
And these people, Leonard and Pinky, they have a place to sleep.
Nice.
This is Leonard, Pinky.
Hi, Leonard. How are you? Hi. Pinky. Jonathan. Just party in this town.
Now you want to go to sleep.
Wow, look at that view.
Yeah, I've seen it already.
Oh, you wouldn't get bored with this, would you?
No, this is good. Okay, here we
Leonard
are.
and Pinky are artists, two of the many who live and work in this squat.
Nice.
They specialise in the bizarre, kitschy and surreal costumes which have made them a regular feature of Amsterdam club culture.
Almost.
I'd love to go to a club dressed like that. So what's it like living in a squat?
I like it. We have a lot of space. In the beginning we didn't pay any rent, but later we agreed with the government, who owns this building, to pay rent.
So you've actually got rights to be here now. They can't come and throw you out.
No. No, it's like...
It is so Amsterdam. The government will take money from you, right? They'll tax marijuana, they'll take rent, but you're not officially here.
Yeah.